Hey, fellow Ristopians, welcome to Ristopia. So, a bit of a ramble. I'm back to my previous camera setup because the audio on the one that I've just uploaded sounded awful from my phone. So I'm now doing it from the camera again. I've updated the Zin issue that I've had. I'm not going to delete the original. I've just done an update. It ended up being a 15-minute update, but yeah, I think the two things linked together just show everything about that, and I'm happy with that. So maybe take a look at that. But yeah, back to doing new stuff now. Got the old Zin U2121. Let's do another pits maneuver. Yeah, do love it. It's one of my favourite watches. Thank you, Zin. As I've already indicated, I would potentially like a dressier Zin, and that kind of links into what I'm going to talk about today. So I did a short a while back, a few days ago, that I said, Jesus Christopher. I bought 5 watches today, and I showed a picture of each watch, but the last one, the Christopher Ward 12, was a question mark. It was because it was embargoed at the time. There's obviously loads of people doing videos about them today. On its release date, I saw the webcast or whatever it's called, and yeah, I kept the desk messy. He's having a lie down. I saw the webcast with Mike France. Is it Mike France? And yeah, I kind of quite liked it. I've got a picture of the movement here. So the 12X. And I pre-ordered. So that was I paid my deposit, I pre-ordered. And this is kind of my thoughts on that today after... weirdly, I didn't take any screenshots of it, so I couldn't look at it for 2 days. Obviously today, lots of pictures back up around, and there's a lot of YouTubers, as I've said, doing reviews. Now, so I've paid the £1,500 deposit of the list price of $4,120. I think there is a rubber strap version as well, but that's on a pin buckle, so I don't think... I hope you can see this. I've not done this before with the iPad and gone through stuff. Is the rubber on here? I don't think it's worth getting the rubber because one of the features of the watch is the micro adjust on the butterfly clasp, which, as Mike said in the webcast, wherever it was, only really high end. I think there are only 3 manufacturers. I think they might all be quite high end. I'm not sure, but yeah. Micro adjust on and part links and part links are on this watch, and having the micro adjust on a butterfly clasp is not really groundbreaking, but it's groundbreaking for a reasonably priced luxury watch. If that makes sense. So I think the rubber one. I'm not even going to mention the rubber one, but the braceleted one. What did I like about it? So, full disclosure, I'm not massively into integrated bracelets. I've got a Tissot PRX quartz, really uncomfortable, really don't. For me, I don't like it. I'm not massively into that. I would. The Vacheron Constantin Overseas is an integrated bracelet, but it does come with a quick release leather and rubber option, and I think that. I do quite like the watch, but anyway, it's super expensive, beyond my realms. But I do like that one. But generally speaking, I don't like integrated bracelet designs. I don't like hexagonal, that kind of Seamaster Professional 300 style of bezel, and I don't particularly like skeletonized watches. So on paper, this wouldn't really be for me. But I saw it. I did think at the time that it looked quite attractive. There were things about it that I liked. I like the fact that it's. I've tried a standard 12 on. It's a little bit too small and thin for me. So this being a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker, a fair bit thicker, I thought, do you know what? Maybe that does look quite good. Maybe this is the one. This is my first skeletonized watch. Now, I do quite like. It's double barreled, 2 barrels to double barreled. So and they look a bit, and they're skeletonized, so you can actually see the coil, the springs. I'm not sure I like that, but yeah. Anyway, I put a deposit down. What are my thoughts today? Now, my thoughts today are it's quite expensive after watching other people, various videos, and also I don't think it's overly attractive. Now, I'm not going to dwell on this too much. I don't really think any, I'm not even a fan of open casebacks, but that's me. People like these things. I'm not, poo-pooing that, but I've kind of feel that it's not that attractive. I'd love to see it in the flesh. I'm going to watch it in Solihull at the end of June. Hopefully Christopher Ward I think Christopher Ward are there. It's a British watch show, and hopefully they'll have one there to look at. So I'm not going to cancel the deposit just yet. But the thing I wanted to mention in this video is that having all the reviewers reviewing it today, at least two, maybe three of them that I watched, mentioned the list price. Now, I Like Watches, Gary, he said it was 3,750. He actually named the price. The Watch Gecko guy said he was told it would be between £3,000 and £4,000. Now, going on the 3,750, that means it's like £400, almost £400, 10% more than what they were told. And I'm not sure how long ago they would have been told this. So Christopher Ward have decided to up the price fairly significantly. I'm kind of guessing at the last minute. Now, I've got some feelings as to why they may have done this. I think that Bremont's been mentioned. I'm not going to mention Bremont, but there's been some Bremont mentioning that they might have done it for that reason. I think the concept of it being about 4 times more than a standard 12 is a little bit, I don't know. And I know Mike France has said in the past that, their watches should cost no more than X times what it costs them to make them. I think that's a sales pitch, and it's a dig at other watch manufacturers, but, it is what it is. But I'm thinking, so I'm discounting the Bremont, well, not discounting, but I'm not getting involved with the Bremont thing. I don't really understand that. I'm thinking what they really want for this, they kind of wanted it over. So my conspiracy theories, if you like, are that I don't think that it can be production cost, not at the last minute. I feel they've clearly upped the price, seemingly at the last minute, for disingenuous reasons. That's how I see it. And I think they've kind of felt, well, we can get more for this, so we're going to charge more for it. I can't see that they found something out that they didn't know when they gave out the pre-production models for reviewing. And it seems a pretty poor show, even if that was the case, to have told. I don't know. It just seems a bit off to me, but. I think one of the reasons is it probably was, manufacturers like their products to be expensive, so that it gives a kind of an air of luxury. So being over the £4,000 mark, which is basically puts it above the Bel Canto, I think is advantageous to them. It gives it an air of, this is really good. I do like that side profile picture. I do like that thickness. Yeah, I do think that's a lovely. I prefer it chunky. I know not everyone does, and they've gone to great efforts to keep it as slim and as the case width as small as possible. But it works for me. It works for me that it's bigger. But yeah, I think just generally that perceived luxury. If it's over £4,000, then people are going to think, ooh. What was the other thing? I think it puts it up there where, it makes it the most expensive kind of production Christopher Ward. I don't know how much the Moonface is actually. I've never been interested in that Moonface that they brought out recently, but it's kind of putting it above the Bel Canto in terms of price, because I think that was about £3,500 roughly when it was, currently, or when it was, recently, or when it was launched, whatever. So I think that. My feeling is that they've whacked almost £400 on top of it, for those reasons, and that's leaving a slightly bitter taste in my mouth. Apart from the fact that £4,120 is quite expensive for what it is, I think, in the first place. But let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you agree with that, or do you think it's a good value watch? But I think the fact that I'm not overly keen on. I don't think the other thing I was saying about it's not really as attractive as. It's nice, but I mean, do I want to look at that all? Is it that attractive that I want to see it all the time? It's not really for me. I think a lot of reviewers have said that skeletonized watches are, got to love. You either love them or you hate them. I'm just not keen on them. I thought this might be the first one that I might quite like. And there's a fair bit about it that I do like, and without seeing it in the flesh, I can't. It's difficult to comment 100%. So hopefully I'll see it at Watch It in June, and at that point I think I'll decide whether I ask my deposit to be refunded, which is completely legitimate, or I carry on towards purchasing it. I think that's all I really wanted to say on it. So yeah, if I do get my deposit back, then I only bought 4 watches on Sunday, not 5. Hopefully the 2 helms will arrive shortly. Really looking forward to those, and I'm really looking forward to the Henry Archer. Not looking forward to the Erebus, but it kind of is what it is with the Erebus. So it's sort of a more known quantity, a bit like the helms really. But I've really wanted I've wanted the helms for over a year, or the helm over a year. Although I ordered 2 because I wasn't quite sure which colour I'd prefer. But whereas with the Erebus, I only found out about it like everyone else did, fairly recently. And with the Henry Archer, it's something completely new and exciting potentially. I think it looks very exciting for the money, and I'm also a little bit. I'll be happy when it arrives. They haven't gone bust, and I've lost all my money. So yeah, really looking forward to the other 4. I think the 12X is probably going down a refund route. Yeah, I don't know. I think, reviewers seem to be not... It seems to be the first Christopher Ward that people have got like negativity to, which, I think is sad. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say, actually, I think what's happened now... So you've got the Bel Canto, the Moonface one, not sure what that's called, and the 12X now. So you've got their three higher-end pieces, and there seems to be a bit of a cavern, not that, that's not the word. There seems to be a gap, a gap forming between, the standardy type Christopher Ward watches, which everyone knows and loves, and really love at a certain price point, and very, very popular. And then the high-end ones, and there seems to be this gap in the middle. And I think the higher-end ones are almost going down a kind of what do you call it when you have a concept? They're like concept watches to a degree. Is the Bel, it's great what they've done with the Bel Canto. I don't know too much about the Moonphase one, and I think it's pretty great what they've done with the 12X, but are they good enough to be doing this with? It's a lot of the money going on these watches. Are they poster boys, really, for the brand, effectively? Would the money be better spent just up, improving the the sort of £1,000-ish type, end of the Christopher Ward product catalogue, rather than doing this? I completely agree that brands should stretch themselves and do good things, but there just seems to be this gap now. They're not very joined together. When you look at this 12X being 4 times the cost of the standard 12, I don't know. I think people are just going to be, do you know what? I just have the standard 12. But I don't know. It remains to be seen. It's only day one. It's only, I don't know, what is it, 4 hours since it was launched. So we'll see what other people say about it. I haven't made my mind up yet. But let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you like the 12X? Would you purchase it? Would you buy something else. I don't normally look at watches and think, instead of getting that, I could buy this and that. But I kind of am doing that with the 12X because I've paid a deposit and obviously then potentially there's a balance to pay. I've kind of, in my head, I've spent that money. So, although I haven't earned it yet, but, and then thinking, well, how about I just get a Zin? So not just get a Zin. How about I get a Zin instead? I get an H-Link Zin. How about I just don't spend the money. Confused. It's interesting times. I would like a Christopher Ward at some point soon. I'm thinking I'm going to sort of veer more towards the kind of £1,000 side of their catalogue. And I think the more of these higher end expensive ones that they produced, I think they're creating a rift there that may not necessarily be fantastic. But who am I? That's just my opinions on it. But as I say, let me know in the comments below. But for now, one wrist, live it. Have a great day, guys.